Ever wondered why some families seem to be born with silver spoons while others are left with plastic forks? Well, let's think of it like a family picnic. Some families turn up with a gourmet feast fit for a king, complete with truffle-infused macaroni and champagne. They're the ones who've inherited the silver spoon, so to speak. Then there are those who show up with a can of baked beans, a loaf of bread, and if they're lucky, a bit of cold chicken. They're the ones left with the plastic forks. What's the difference? It's all about generational wealth. The silver spoon families have been planning their financial picnic for generations. They've invested wisely, and their wealth has grown over time. The plastic fork families, well, they're just starting their financial planning journey, so if you're tired of plastic forks and canned beans, stick around. Now, ever heard of compound interest? It's not a new type of toothpaste, I assure you. Picture this. Once upon a time, there was a man named Pennywise. Now, Pennywise wasn't your average Joe. He was a bit of an oddball, with a peculiar fascination for pennies. Not because he was a coin collector, no. Pennywise had caught wind of something magical. The power of compound interest. Every day, Pennywise would save a few pennies. A mere handful of coppers, really. Some days it was just a couple, others it was a handful. He'd then invest these pennies, and here's where the magic happens. His pennies started to grow. Not literally, of course. They didn't sprout legs and start dancing around. No, they began to multiply. You see, compound interest is a bit like planting a tree. You plant a seed, in this case a penny, and over time it grows. Not only does the tree grow, but it also starts producing fruit. Now imagine if you could plant the fruit to grow more trees, which in turn produce more fruit. That's compound interest in a nutshell. Over time, Pennywise's pennies started to pile up. And not just because he was saving them. The pennies he had invested were earning interest, and that interest was earning more interest. It was a never-ending cycle, a snowball effect. Before he knew it, Pennywise was a millionaire, all from saving a few pennies each day. The secret to Pennywise's success was starting early and being consistent. He didn't wait until he had a lot of money to invest. He started with what he had, however small, and kept at it, day in, day out. It wasn't about the amount he saved, but the habit he developed. So, what's the moral of the story? Compound interest is a powerful tool. It's the magic that can turn pennies into millions. It's not about how much you invest, but when you start and how consistently you do it. So remember, compound interest is your toothpaste. Your ticket to wealth. Ever been to a buffet and filled your plate with only one type of food? No, right? That's what diversification in investing is all about. Imagine you're at a buffet, your eyes bigger than your belly. You've got a plate in your hand and a smorgasbord of delicious delights laid out before you. Do you just pile up on the spaghetti bolognese? Or do you take a bit of everything, from the sushi to the roast beef, the salad to the stir-fry? That's exactly what diversification is in the world of investing. It's about not putting all your eggs in one basket, or in this case, not piling your plate with just one kind of food. Let's say, for instance, you're a big fan of tech stocks. You might think, hey, I love tech. Why not just invest all my money there? But what happens when the tech sector takes a hit? Your whole portfolio goes down faster than a bowl of trifle at a Weight Watchers meeting. On the other hand, if you've spread your investments around, some in tech, some in real estate, a bit in bonds, a pinch in commodities, you've got a well-rounded plate. If tech takes a tumble, you've still got your real estate, bonds and commodities to keep your portfolio steady. But here's the kicker. Diversification isn't about just throwing your money around willy-nilly. It's about thoughtful allocation. It's like at the buffet. You don't just heap your plate with everything. You carefully select what you want, balancing the flavors, textures, and nutrients. Similarly, in investing, you don't just randomly choose where to put your money. You select different assets based on their potential returns, their risk levels, and how they fit into your overall investment strategy. So, diversification is really about balance. It's about spreading the risk and increasing the potential for returns. It's about keeping your portfolio healthy and robust, just like a well-rounded meal at a buffet. So diversify your investments, just like you would at a buffet. And remember, no double dipping. Imagine a piggy bank that never gets full. That's what your savings account should be like. Now let me tell you a tale about Penny, a woman who took this idea to heart. Penny was a woman of simple tastes. She'd walk 3 miles to work just to save on bus fare. She'd turn off the lights in the room, even if she was just stepping out for a minute. And she'd never miss a chance to collect coupons, even if it meant getting up at the crack of dawn. Sure, people found her frugality amusing, even endearing, but what they didn't know was that Penny was amassing a small fortune with her penny-pinching ways. She understood that every little bit counts when it comes to saving, and that over time, these small amounts can add up to a substantial sum. The moral of the story: frugality isn't about being stingy, it's about being smart with your money. So, start saving today, even if it's just pennies. Every penny counts. So, ready to swap that plastic fork for a silver spoon? Well, you're in the right place. Let's recap what we've learned today. Firstly, we discovered the magic of compound interest, the financial world's version of a snowball rolling down a hill, gaining momentum and size as it goes. Remember, time is your best friend here. The sooner you start, the bigger your snowball gets. Next, we feasted on a buffet of investments. The key takeaway: diversification. Spread your eggs across multiple baskets and watch them hatch into a golden goose, or at least fewer omelets. Lastly, we explored the art of saving. Because every penny saved is a penny earned, and every penny earned is a step closer to that silver spoon. So what are you waiting for? Start today. Start now. The journey to generational wealth is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Remember, wealth is not about how much you earn, but how much you keep. So start keeping more today.